That game was a thudding reality check for anyone who thought that Liverpool had dusted themselves down over the winter break and were going to stroll back into the top four. Notably, me. Gosh, I have misjudged this Liverpool team. I thought that they were going to do it fairly easily, and I thought that they were going to canter their way into the top four, primarily because of the brilliance of Jurgen Klopp. But I think that Klopp and this Liverpool team have conditioned my mind over the years to believe in them. But something has changed, something is missing, and that was a pitiful performance from that Liverpool team. Brentford didn't just beat Liverpool, they bossed them in every single department on that pitch. And actually, that game felt like a symbolic moment for this Liverpool team. Never before have I seen a Liverpool team be bullied. They are the bullies. Bully in a footballing context is a very positive word. It's a negative word in terms of the connotations that it has, but on a football pitch, being bullies is something to aspire to be. And Liverpool, with Virgil van Dijk and Jordan Henderson and James Milner and Andy Robertson, were vicious and they would bully their way to victories. That is over. This Liverpool team are susceptible to being bullied. And full credit to Brentford. They made sure that they were first to everything. The word that I would use to surmise this Brentford team is one of fight. And across the pitch, in various different guises, they won the fight. But it's a moment for Liverpool, this. A few things happened today that has made me really, potentially, redefine Liverpool. I have never seen a Jurgen Klopp team feel sorry for themselves, and I think we saw an element of that today. I've never seen Virgil van Dijk look so out of his depth. I think it's momentous that Virgil van Dijk was the centre-half that was sacrificed at half-time, and Darwin Núñez yet again missing sitters. Liverpool looked old, they looked vulnerable, and they were totally and utterly outfought. And the events in Brentford are a major, major blow to their top four hopes. But they were deservedly beaten. And do you know what? It was 3-1 to Brentford. And I think that Brentford will feel hard done by that scoreline. Brentford could honestly have scored much more. They had some goals disallowed, goals that were perfectly right to be disallowed. But they had they conceded a lot. And every single time Brentford got a set piece, it really looked like it was curtains for Liverpool. They were in stuck every single time Brentford got a set piece. And there was something that wasn't right about Liverpool. Liverpool had a moment where one of the goals that was scored by Wissa was disallowed. 13 seconds later, they concede. You have the reprieve. You have the moment. You've got away with one. Now, switch on. 13 seconds later, they've conceded again. The fight that was on display from Brentford was there for all to see. And do you know what we can do, actually? The third goal, we can use it as a bit of a case study for Liverpool being outfought. Because not only was Konate totally and utterly, fairly outfought by Mbeumo, but Liverpool as a club looked slightly upset about that. Jurgen Klopp was honestly sort of irate at the fact that the foul hadn't been given against Konate. It was never a foul. It was two strong, sturdy professionals competing for the ball in a fair fight. It was fair and square. Nobody did anything that they shouldn't have done in that. And simply, Mbeumo was stronger, was tougher, was harder, and wanted the ball more. Konate, come on. You're a geezer. You've got a presence. You're a wicked player. But you have to fight. You have to match the level of desperation that is on display from the opposition. And that was across the board with this team. They didn't win any individual duel. You know, when you're thinking about man of the match from Brentford, and Mbeumo's a shout. Look, Wissa's a shout. But it could have been anyone because every single Brentford player won their individual duel. But Liverpool was soft. How have you ever said that about a Liverpool team under Klopp's stewardship before? Soft. Is that the worst word you can use about a football team? You know, obviously there are echoes here of the way that I speak about Chelsea, but Liverpool was soft. They were so soft. They were too soft. And ultimately, it was easy to get at them today. Brentford had it easy. They bullied them easily. And the fight was there from Brentford throughout. The spirit from Brentford. It's amazing. And you know, when you look at a team playing with that level of love for the manager, for each other, and for the badge, I don't know about you, but it makes me very envious. It feels like Brentford are sort of a modern day crazy gang. Any of you old enough to remember the crazy gang? Look, I was a bit young at the time, but they won the cup in '88, beating Liverpool, funnily enough. Dennis Wise, John Fashanu, Laurie Sanchez, Terry Phelan. But they were hard. They were fighters. And going to play against them, Dean Holdsworth, John Fashanu, you were going to be in for a row. And if you didn't match that fight, you weren't going to win. And that is what Brentford have become. Earlier this season, we saw Brentford bully Manchester United. And one of the very few mistakes that Eric Ten Hag has made in his Manchester United career. Played Eriksen too deep. Ultimately, Brentford were too big. And Manchester United, that day, were a team of shorties who were bullied. It's not a dissimilar story today. But it's a fight of individual players as well. The spirit from Wissa to score a hat-trick and, you know, have the first two disallowed. To keep going. He wasn't going to quit until he got his goals. He was not going to stop. Just wouldn't give it up. And it is so impressive, that attitude from him. But it meant the world to Brentford as well. They've had some big results already this season. Look who they've beaten. They're unbeaten in 6 here. They're above Chelsea in the league. And there was a full-on rave going on. I don't know if you saw it, but there was a rave going on that even Micah Richards and Gary Neville ended up getting involved in. You know, Freed from Desire was blazing across the terraces. But Liverpool were a shambles, a complete shambles. At the back especially, their defence was just all over the place. And like I said earlier, to concede that goal 13 seconds after being granted that reprieve was a microcosm of who they were. I think at half-time they rallied. For the first 15 minutes of the second half, they were the better team. They got the goal, beautiful play from Trent Alexander-Arnold, left foot into Oxlade-Chamberlain, knocks it in. But I think that was off the back of having, I imagine they had a severe telling off from Jurgen Klopp at half-time. The substitutions were made and they rallied. But ultimately, it was Thomas Frank's night. Frank got it right. Frank's tactics were spot on. Brentford were clinical when it mattered. And even without Ivan Toney, they soaked up the pressure and they were threatening. They could have scored more goals than they did. Liverpool were just all over the place. They were a mess at the back. They didn't offer much up front. Chances missed by Darwin Núñez yet again. Just really not good. And now, 4 points away from Manchester United, and Manchester United have a game in hand. Liverpool, look, that is not insurmountable. And I think Manchester United will drop points. Of course they will. But it's not looking good for them. It really is not looking good for Liverpool. So we will have to see how this continues. But we are expecting some reaction. Liverpool got very lucky the other day, didn't they? They got so lucky against Leicester. But ultimately today, they didn't make the most of the luck that they were given there. And they have dropped points here. And that is going to be huge for them in their pursuit of top 4. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a like. Massively helps me out. If you would click subscribe, it would be my honour to welcome you into this community. And most importantly, I would like to wish you all Happy New Year. Have a wonderful night. Ta-da.